Your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. Travis Robinson is with us, repeat offender on Ron Siegel Radio, Maxwell Agency. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ron?
Doing great. Monday after football, what more could you ask for?
Absolutely.
Of course, we got Monday Night Football, 2 games tonight, so we double do. You have to get two TV screens right next to each other.
Yeah.
Hey, let's see what we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. You know, I looked at this one, and I'm trying to figure this out. National Snack Stick Day. You know, I don't call it, is that beef jerky? Whatever you want to call it. Any kind of a snack, just about any kind of a snack works for me. I've beaten anorexia, so snacks are snacks. Just bring them on. Today's also National Checkers Day and Dogs in Politics. Well, if you're a Secret Service agent, I know you've been coming under a lot of trouble. Who would have thought that being a dog in the White House would have been one of the best things that could happen to Secret Service right now? Have you heard all these stories about Commander, the president's dog? The only one awake apparently in the White House is the dog, and he goes and bites the Secret Service agents. That's not a good thing to have happen. I always thought the dogs were a little smarter than that, but just think about it. Don't the dogs realize those guys have guns?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, not a good idea. National Great American Pot Pie Day. Now, I don't know, Josh, is there a difference between a Great American Pot Pie and just a pot pie? I don't know. Pot pies, both flaky top crust, bottom crust, chicken, beef, vegetables, hearty meat. Now, I heard somebody that really had an idea. I was on a call early this morning. We were talking about National Pot Pie Day. Yes, I have no life. Who would get on a call at 6:30 in the morning, California time, talking about pot pie? But yes, we kind of talk about it a little bit. They made the comment of putting bacon in there. Now, I'll just be the first to say that anything you put bacon in is going to always be improved. Now, I got a, yes, we go to wine country a lot. We got some jam that was a bacon chipotle jam. I'll tell you something. I can put that in almost anything and really enjoy it. But I digress. Let's move along and see what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 37 points. S&P 500 is up 14. Oil down $1.06 a barrel. Somebody, please wake up the president. We're below $70 a barrel. This is a good time that maybe he wants to start filling the emergency petroleum reserves. I don't know. He's probably sleeping on a beach somewhere. But let's take a look. California gasoline prices, $4.74 a gallon of gasoline right here in the formerly Golden State. Yes, I know we like high gasoline prices, and I only know that because we keep voting for the same people. 28% taxes and fees is what we're paying on gasoline right now in California. 28%. Now let's take a look at, I just want to take a look at this real quick and see if I can get a calculator to come up on my phone or any of these goodies around. I have all this technology around me and I can't get any of it to work. I am old, that's true. So we're looking at $4.74 a gallon, and we've got 28% in taxes and fees. I mean, would it surprise you to know that's $1.32 a gallon we're paying in California? Now let's see. $1.32 a gallon, and the national average of a gallon of gasoline, $3.20. So if we take that $4.74 and take $1.32 off of there, we're about $3.40, just still a little bit above the national average, but at least we wouldn't be the highest in the country. Now, let's keep voting for these same people that keep giving us all this fun stuff. We're even higher than the gas prices in Hawaii. Let's go run around the horn here. Josh is at $3.96, less our normal 50 cents a gallon we have to take off for them in the big cities of Nevada. And Danny's over at $3.44. She's in Colorado. Nicole, our tremendous processor, $3.09, $3.10 a gallon. $3.10 a gallon. Do you imagine if we were paying $3.10 a gallon of gasoline? It might ruin all of the plans that our politicians have in California, because maybe they would realize we don't need all these electric vehicles. Maybe they would realize, the latest, I don't know if you caught this one, the latest new thing that was signed into law this weekend by the governor of our state. Gosh, you're going to love this one. No plastic trash bags in California. None. Not even the thick ones that are reusable. Why? Well, they're finding out that you can't legislate everything in California. You could try. I mean, if it moves, they want to legislate it in California. So what did they do? They came out with those the banning single-use plastic bags. So they came out with these heavier duty ones that are multi-use, but no one's using them over and over again. So now they've got to take it the next step and ban all plastic bags in the formerly Golden State. Wonder what else they're going to be. What's the next thing that they're going to be able to ban or legislate here? Unbelievable. Okay, so let's see what else is going on in the world. Yeah, we got the notes last week. We actually did see, as we talked about, and I wasn't on the broadcast on Thursday, but did you see if you're alive, you noticed this, that they lowered the discount rate. The Federal Reserve lowered the discount rate. What's that going to do to home loans? What's it going to do to real estate transactions? We'll talk about all that. Does it have any effect on insurance? We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 1990, the Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or APR. They tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to find out what your monthly principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, and I know most of us don't, but you can get one free. RonIsMyLender.com. RonIsMyLender.com. That's our mobile app. You need to have it. Why? Because you need to know what your number is. What's the number that makes sense to you to restructure your home loans? Maybe you need to call us and find out what your blended household interest rate is, because you might have a 3% interest rate, and who cares? Because by the time you add all of the other interest rates, your HELOC, your credit cards, your car loans, student loans, you might be over 7, 8%, 9% in interest. Just throwing that out there for you. So what did the rates do? Conventional 30-year fixed down 6.062. Jumbo 30-year fixed down 6.347. FHA 30-year fixed down 5.825. VA 30-year fixed. This is not right, Josh. We can't do this. I know it is what it is. 5.487 on the VA loan. That one was up. USDA 30-year fixed. Rural areas, generally no down payment. 5.85. 5.85 on the 30-year fixed on that. If you want our market thoughts each morning, as early as the data allows, we put out a report. rsrlinks.com/market minute. rsrlinks.com/market minute. We put that out each and every weekday morning or business morning to give you our idea of where the markets are heading, what they're doing. So let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. The S&P 500 is now up 9.52. Oil's moving the wrong direction, so we better be careful here in California. Let's look at the 10-year Treasury, up 2 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are down a basis point. We're just going to call that flat. They're doing absolutely nothing on this Monday morning. Nothing really to worry about, nothing to think about right there. Let's see what we're contemplating. Well, some of the Federal Reserve members, Fed Governor Waller is a voting member and one of the most influential members of the Fed, was asked why the Fed cut 50 basis points instead of 25. He said, quote, inflation is on a lower path than we were potentially expecting. I think inflation is on the right path as long as we don't let it get too low, unquote. Very interesting to see Fed members now worried that inflation may get too low. We wonder if they're seeing something we're not. Additionally, just because the current rate of inflation has decelerated, all the price increases from the past few years are still there. So yes, even though we're not going up as much, eggs might be going from, $6 a dozen to $6.25 a dozen instead of $7 a dozen. Doesn't mean they went backwards. Think about that. Going down the freeway, 70 miles an hour, you see a police officer. You're in a 65 zone. You slow down to 65. Are you going backwards? No. You're still moving along on the freeway. Of course, this is Southern California. You don't get to go full speeds very often. But you're still moving along the freeway at 65 miles an hour. You're going forward. Same idea with inflation. It's going forward. It's going up, just not quite as fast. Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari. I think he might have something might have frozen when he moved to Minneapolis.
Such an idiot.
Yeah.
Such an idiot.
Yeah.
Such
Sorry
an
about
idiot.
that.
Such an
His comment
idiot.
is, quote,
Such an idiot.
okay, we got
Such
it.
an
We got
idiot.
it.
Such an
We
idiot.
can't stop this
Such
thing.
an idiot. Such an idiot.
There we go. Even our board knows he's an idiot. Quote, the balance of risks has shifted away from higher inflation and toward the risk of further weakening of the labor market, warranting a lower federal funds rate. Even after that cut, the overall stance of policy remains tight, unquote. That means they're still thinking that we need to give a little bit more in the way of cuts. That'd be good. Big news this week, Friday's personal consumption expenditures report. The market is expecting the headline reading to come in and attain 0.1% for August, bringing the year-over-year reading down to from 2.5 to 2.3. More important, core is expected to rise somewhere between 0.2% and 0.24%, depending on which estimates you're looking at, even though this would not be a terrible monthly reading. The replacement from last year is very low at 0.098, which means that any reading above that will cause the year-over-year number to rise. The market is anticipating core inflation to rise on a year-over-year basis from 2.62 to 2.7 or maybe even 2.8. Depending on the monthly reading, the market should be already anticipating this, as Powell gave an estimate during last week's Fed meeting of 2.7%. And even with that, the Fed decided to cut 50 basis points. Additionally, the Fed is aware that the monthly readings have been tamer, and because the replacements from last year are so low, it'll be hard to make progress on the yearly figures. The Fed's summary of economic projections showed that the Fed believes that the core PCE will end the year at 2.6%. So they're not expecting much more progress this year. It's not until next year that the Fed thinks core PCE will drop to 2.2% and not hit their 2% target until 2026. Thankfully, at least some of them are looking forward and realize that, you know something, it could be the jobs issue, the employment issue, that might be more of a problem to worry about than inflation. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, welcome to our featured guest today and repeat offender. I think I had it on my board. I can't find anything on my board anymore. I changed soundboards, and I can almost find things.
Welcome back. I said, welcome.
That is not P. Diddy. I promise you, that's not P. Diddy. Welcome back, Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. You guys have upgraded some sound effects, and you guys are moving forward. I love it.
Moving forward, we got something. It's not me, because everyone knows that you got to have a millennial to understand this stuff. Josh does all of this stuff in the background and does a great job managing these things. So insurance, insurance. There's so much going on right now. I would bet. We talk about the jobs report that comes out the first of each month, the first Friday of each month. And they always, for some reason, get the jobs report wrong as far as what they call the birth-death model. And they're not talking about people dying. They're talking and being born. They're actually talking about businesses. And I bet if they called you, Travis, they could probably get a better indication of business hiring and firing, better than what the Bureau of Labor Statistics is doing. But
yeah.
I don't know if you want to be an economist.
No, absolutely not. No.
Football coach, insurance man, papa, okay. So I guess you got enough on your plate.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the insurance world right now? I'm from our company. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm oversized, but they keep sending me these things every week or every month about employee wellness programs. What is that?
Well, I mean, California and trying to keep your employees happy, trying to attract and retain talent. Wellness programs are becoming extremely popular with employers. They want to make sure that their employees have access to, wellness programs, and those can range from anything as far as access to counselors for financial advice, healthcare advice, legal advice, and just kind of keeping their employees educated and make sure that they're happy so they can be more productive at work.
Okay, so I guess it's somewhat altruistic. They want us to be healthy, but they just want us to work harder.
Well, they want you to be more productive. And, how do you get someone to be more productive, make them happy, or make them enjoy what they're doing? So,
that makes sense.
We're sponsoring a wellness program for any of new, potential clients. We do it for a lot of our clients right now, where we're sponsoring a wellness program where, again, they have access to financial advice, legal advice, a lot of stuff. So we're doing a lot for our groups.
And ironically enough, that's you think of it because your main business is that of health insurance, group health insurance, right?
Yeah. So we provide health insurance, dental, vision, accident, any type of insurance that you would offer your employees. Pet insurance is kind of becoming more popular now too. So, but we sell insurance, but we're more of a technology company, right? So we provide a lot of things for our clients, but it all stems from employee benefits.
Interesting. Yeah, I always wondered because I know we get our insurance for our dog through work, and I always wondered how does that tie in? How does medical insurance for the dog tie into the employee benefit? That's kind of an interesting one. But I guess,
well, I mean, you look at everything that you're if you're an employer, you own a business and you're offering all these things for your employees, that ties into an employee benefit. And like some people, I've got 2 dogs. Well, I'm sorry, I have 1 dog. One passed away, but my dog is part of our family. So it's like you want to have insurance for everyone that's part of your family. So pet insurance, like I said, is becoming extremely more popular.
yeah, something, and it's amazing because I just saw that they're trying to, I don't know whether it was a state or feds, were trying to get a law passed for pet bereavement leave. That's a whole new world for me. But we're going to continue our conversation. We want to talk more with Travis about what's going on in the world of medical or health care, health insurance, what companies are doing. Prices going up, prices going down. I wonder if inflation is transitory there too. So we'll talk more with Travis about that when we come back. Falling mortgage rates are bringing back buyers back and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Falling mortgage rates bringing buyers back. If you've been hesitant to list your house because you're worried no one's buying, here's your sign. It may be time to talk with an agent. After months of high rates keeping buyers on the sidelines, things are starting to shift. Rates are already coming down due to a number of economic factors. And last week, the Federal Reserve cut the Fed funds rate for the first time since they began raising rates in March of 2022. And while they don't control mortgage rates, this sets the stage for mortgage rates to fall even further than they already have, especially since more cuts from the Fed are expected in the next year, and lower mortgage rates are bringing more buyers back into the market. According to Lisa Sturdivant, chief economist at Bright MLS, she says, quote, "A drop in the cost of borrowing will help fuel more home buyer demand. Falling rates will also bring more sellers into the market. The best part, you can take advantage of that renewed buyer interest. As rates fall, buyer activity goes up. You've got a graph, the relationship between falling mortgage rates and rising buyer activity. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a graph. The orange line represents the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate. dropping, while the blue line shows the Mortgage Bankers Association index, which tracks the number of mortgage applications. As you can see, mortgage rates orange come down, mortgage applications go up, showing more people start to re-engage in the process. Pretty interesting information. Now, if you've been listening to us for any length of time, you know about our Home Select product. I have the fun benefit. All of our clients' families that are in the Home Select product, we get to call them every month and tell them how much their mortgage rate dropped, and they didn't have to do a thing. Benefit of the product. What this means for you, according to the National Association of Realtors, NAR, home sales increased in July, which was a welcome shift after 4 straight months of declines. If you're a homeowner thinking about selling, this uptick in buyer activity works in your favor. More buyers means more competition, which can lead to higher offers and shorter time on the market for your house. And according to Edward Seiler, AVP of Housing Economics at the Mortgage Bankers Association, MBA, this trend is expected to continue. Quote, MBA is expecting that slower home price appreciation coupled with lower rates will ease affordability constraints and lead to increased activity in the housing market, unquote. All in all, the market is becoming more accessible to a wider range of buyers, which could result in even more people looking to purchase a house like yours. With more buyers entering the market, now's the time to start getting your house ready to sell. Bottom line, the recent decline in mortgage rates is already driving more buyers into the market, and experts project this trend will continue. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's chat about getting your house ready for market if you're thinking about buying or selling either this year or next. Get the house ready for market. Enjoy the holidays. Have it ready to go right at the beginning of the year if you want. And we'll put you in touch with a great real estate agent to help with that. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continuing our conversation this morning, Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency, is with us. He is the group health insurance agent to the stars. Well, at least some star. I don't know which star, but do they still give out stars when you're playing football? You on the helmet?
Stars? Oh, no. Well, some programs do. I know my nephew plays at Brea, and they get certain things for, like, if you get a pancake or a hog or so many tackles, I think they still give out those. At Bosco, we don't. No, we have multiple helmets that we use for different games. So kids are getting different helmets all the time. So
that's an interesting one. I never heard of that before. Different helmets for different games.
Yeah.
I guess it's all for looking out for the safety of the kids.
Safety, absolutely. I mean, that's a big trigger right now, and it's all about the kids. So, yeah, we want to keep them safe. We want to keep them on the field and playing and being happy for sure.
So, that's gotta cost a whole lot of money for a program, having multiple helmets and all the pads and equipment and everything else that goes into it. Tell us a little bit about what Maxwell is doing to try and help with some of these programs out there.
Yeah,
I think you've got a good program out there.
Yeah, so we have a philanthropy program where we give back to nonprofits, and we deal, it all kind of started with sports programs because of my coaching background in football, and then my son plays baseball. So what we're doing is if I get introduced by one of those coaches to a business owner and we earn that business, then we donate back to that nonprofit every single month. So it's recurring monthly donations that we give, and it's we're doing it with Bosco, we're doing it with Brea Olinda baseball, and my relationships with coaching. There's a lot of programs in Orange County. I know one coach or another, so we've approached them, and they're kind of running with it, and we're having some great success. But we also do it with any nonprofit. We do it with another charity that works with veterans, or if you're a service member and you have a pet, pets on deployment, and so if you deploy or you go service, then we find a temporary home for your pet, for your cat or dog. That one's one of my favorite ones as well.
It's pretty nice. That it's a lot of companies are talk about doing these things. It's nice to have a company that's actually out there doing it and giving money back and trying to help the communities. you guys do a whole lot of different things just to when I look at your website over there at Maxwell Agency, you guys have a lot of stuff going on, but it's a lot more than just going out there and doing a group health insurance program.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when we talked, you mentioned earlier, that's what insurance is, what we sell or, what we provide, but we do a lot of stuff for our clients. We just signed up with a new service. It's called the Education Hub. And, for all of our clients, it doesn't matter if you're 2 employees, if you're 1,000 employees, you get access to HR professionals, you get, training, sexual harassment training. If you have 5 or more employees, you have to provide sexual harassment training. If you have 10 or more employees, you have to provide workplace violence protection plans and training, which we do. So there's just a lot of added value that we provide our clients at Maxwell Agency that benefit these employers the most, but also assist the employees and HR managers.
So is that Education Hub? Is that the new service you were mentioning? HR new service?
Well, it's one of them. I mean, we've just upped our game a little bit. We've always provided this service, but it's called the Education Hub, and it's through Zywave. But it's just more robust. We can provide everything in one spot. If you've got 50 employees, you log into our portal and all of your information is there, right? All 50 employees, and it shows you, hey, you need to have your employee handbooks updated annually, and your employees need to sign those every single year. So most companies don't do that, or they're out of compliance with that. So if you log into our webpage, it'll show you, hey, you got 50 employees, you've got 40 of them that have completed, reviewed, and signed their employee handbook, but you've got 10 that haven't even started it, right? So it shows you exactly where they're at in the process, if they've completed 50% of it. And when they've signed it, it puts a digital copy there. So if you ever get audited, you just open up our portal and it says, this is what's been done. This is what needs to be done. That workplace violence protection plan went into effect, I think, July 1st. And most companies are out of compliance with that. So if you're my client, if you're my prospect, we're going to provide that to you, that training at no cost. And it's going to make sure that you're not paying fines, penalties, to Uncle Sam. That's
beautiful. So, we talk a lot about insurance and all the things that are not insurance, but inflation and all the things that are going on in inflation. Are the prices, have they stabilized? Are they dropping, going up on group health now, or what's the story there?
No, I mean, since coming out of COVID, a lot of the insurance companies didn't really hit employers with big increases. So now that we're out, and on average, we're seeing double-digit rate increases for groups, which is a lot, right? So we can help alleviate that, providing custom quotes, taking a look at what networks they're utilizing, potentially move them from one carrier to another carrier with no doctor interruption, and we can save them quite a bit of money. So, and that's coming, if they're getting a double-digit rate increase, if we can move them at their current rate, keep their costs the same without getting that rate increase, but with no doctor interruption, then that's huge. So that's one of the other services we do. And right now, Orange County, about 80% of businesses are going to renew in the fourth quarter. So now is an awesome time to reach out, have us take a look at your employee benefits. We can discuss compliance. Are you in compliant with your employee handbooks, sexual harassment, all these things. There's a list that goes on and on that we help our clients with.
Now, do you have to wait to make changes? Do you have to wait until a specific month or where your company is in the process, or can you make changes anytime you want?
Well, so most people will take a look at their benefits when it's open enrollment period, right? So they'll get 90 days before they renew. Say you renew December, you're going to be getting your renewal right now. And that's when you can make changes to the plan. But if you're with a broker that's not providing some of these services or any of these services, then you can come and sign up with Maxwell Agency. It's super easy. It can go into effect the first of the month, and it won't change your insurance. It won't change the cost. The biggest change is that now you reach out to Maxwell Agency and my team, and then you have access to all these services, paperless enrollments, access to our new Education Hub, paperless employee handbooks. And that's just by setting, it's what's called a broker of record. And again, if there's no change on your end, the difference is that you reach out to me directly and you have access to all of our cool added values.
Yeah, that's when we come back. I want to talk about what the differences are in insurance and what the differences are in the added value stuff that you talk about. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Understanding home equity. Home equity is the value of your home minus any outstanding mortgage debt. It's an essential component of your overall net worth and can be leveraged for future financial opportunities. What does leveraged mean? Well, you can use that equity to help you in different areas. Think about this, and I was just watching this on a business channel earlier today. They were talking about the idea that real estate's going to take off again. Why? Well, as interest rates come down, we've got so much buyer demand pent up. We've got some seller demand pent up. What do I mean by seller demand? Well, sellers have been locked in on interest rates, so they haven't wanted to do anything. Well, as interest rates come down, it becomes more palatable for those folks to go out and sell and then buy something new. Well, that's going to move the real estate market. There's going to be that many more buyers coming into the market, so prices are going to continue to go up. There's no catalyst for prices to fall. Now, if we lose a lot of jobs in the millions of jobs, maybe we'll see some, but there's too much equity out there, so we're not going to have the foreclosures and short sales that we've seen in the past. So what does all that mean for you? Well, look at leverage. When we talk about real estate all the time, we talk about safety, secure return, and liquidity. And liquidity is the same as some of the leverage. Right now, they're not going to want you to listen to this. So be careful. If you're not going to hear me say that maybe you want to borrow against some of your stocks to buy real estate. There's a real estate trust out there that I heard. I'm not going to tell you the name of it. You've got to do the research yourself because I am not a financial advisor. But they're paying like a 13% dividend. If you can go and borrow against your stocks at 4, 5, 6% and get a 13%, it's called yield stacking. Got to understand these things. That's how you get ahead, because there's only really a couple of ways of making money. One is off of your own efforts, and one is letting your money make money for you. Your money can be like little workers that are out there doing things for you if you're investing the right way. It's a Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. That is the best loan on the market. Yes, for even those of you that have 2, 3, 4% interest rates. Saves you boatloads of money. If you don't want to save money, don't look into it. rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Continue our conversation. Travis Robinson is with us. Maxwell Agency is the company. So Travis, let me ask you this: when we're talking about group health insurance, aside from all of the value adds that you guys do, if I have a Blue Cross policy through you and a Blue Cross policy through company X, is there a whole lot different to it? Do I need to look at differences? Because most of us are not insurance experts. Are there a lot of differences?
No, it's the same policy. It's and it's the pricing and rates are regulated by the state of California. So if you're working with company X, you're not going to get a different rate for a plan than I can provide you. But what my company does is we'll take a look at maybe your network. Maybe you're on an HMO plan and you're on the broad network, right? But say for me, like I live in Brea and I can go on a reduced network with Blue Shield because I need to go to St. Jude and all of my doctors are within that network. So I go on the Trio network, which saves me about $500 a month for my family. As to being on the largest network, I can do a doctor search and say, okay, I can go on the Trio network and I can go on this reduced network, still see all my doctors, but still save quite a bit of money. So that's one thing that we'll do is we'll meet with your employees and we'll say, hey, what doctors do you need to see? And we'll search. And if we can put you on a reduced network to save you money, save the employer money, then that's the big difference. So, but if you're just talking apples to apples, like, hey, I need to be on a PPO, a full network PPO, and you're at this age, that rate and our rate is the same as any other company. And then, so what wins us a lot of business is the added values that we have.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that before. Full network and a reduced network.
Yeah. Every carrier has them except for Kaiser, obviously, right? Because Kaiser is Kaiser. So, but every carrier, Anthem, Blue Shield, Health Net, all of them have the reduced network offer. Just a lot of brokers or agencies don't really talk about it because, to be honest with you, they want you on the full network and because it's more money for them. But if I could put you on a reduced network and help you out, let's do that. Let's take a look at it.
Interesting. Okay, so let's do you have a list where you could just go down and give us a couple seconds on all these each time you come on, it sounds like there's more and more of the value adds that you guys are bringing online.
Yeah, I've got a marketing piece that we had that we developed, so it's, I can send that out to any client that's looking, but we do, any type of employee benefit, or I think the biggest thing is compliance. There's a whole list of compliance that we offer through Zywave. It's trainings. It's probably over 2,000 to 3,000 trainings that people can log on to, and then access to HR professionals. So if you were a company of 20 or 50, you might not have a full-time HR person. So they get access to HR professionals. So if you need to terminate someone or write someone up, you can call in and talk to an HR professional and get advice, right? You're not calling me or you're not calling my office. We actually pay for a service where they can talk to an HR professional. So that's one of the biggest things. And then, a lot of our technology solutions, sometimes people will need to contact, if they terminate someone or they're bringing on a new employee, they need to contact, 3 or 4 different entities, right? So we need to add them to medical. We need to add them to dental. We need to add them to make sure they're on payroll correctly. With us, it's one stop. You input their information into our system, and then our systems communicate on the back end to all of your providers, payroll, medical, dental, 401k. Once you input it and update into our system, then our systems communicate on the back end to all your other providers. So it's really a one-stop process.
So do you do the payroll as well, Travis?
No, I do not do payroll. I partner with payroll companies. There's a few out there that we won't partner with because they provide employee benefits as well. And you can probably, 80 something, ADP, we don't partner with. They do payroll and they do a lot of other things, but they have a kind of a bad reputation. So, but we partner with other payroll companies, and we don't do payroll. I don't do workers' comp or general liability. We actually look to partner with commercial brokers that do not want to do health insurance because all we want to do is the employee benefits to group health because we're really good at it. And then we want to partner with, payroll companies and property and casualty businesses that don't want to do it.
Now, one of the things that you've talked about in the past, and I think from my past life owning business with a lot of employees, is talk a little bit about your total compensation statement.
Yeah, right. So we use them. A lot of our groups use them to attract and retain talent, right? So we input any information that you want us to do. So their salary or their hourly wage, and then what are you paying for their medical, their dental, their vision. So it really puts everything into one spot, and it shows the employee how much you're really the business is really contributing on their behalf. So it's a very powerful tool to attract and retain talent.
So I may be getting $20 an hour, but in reality, that might be $40 an hour when you put all the benefits and everything else that's going into it.
Right. So if they're paying, 60 or 80% for your health insurance, and they're also contributing towards dental, vision, accident insurance, they're contributing towards pet insurance. Maybe they're like I said, they're providing this wellness program that Maxwell Agency sponsors. We can, put that in there as well, and it really shows them, hey, this is truly what the company's paying for you. My wife works for the school district here, and we get one every year, and it's like, holy cow, the school districts do a good job of taking care of their employees. You need to educate your employees. How much am I really doing for them? What am I providing? Am I contributing to their 401k? Am I doing, so it really helps educate the employee, like how much you're doing for them.
My bet is that most employees don't realize, when they say, well, because you hear in the news, okay, you have to provide health insurance. Yeah. Well, where does that money come from? What is the cost of that? And most people don't realize, there is a cost associated. It's not even though the government says it has to be done, the government's not the one paying for it. They're putting it out there for someone else to pay for, and there's costs associated with it.
Right.
Good to be able to know that.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool, and I've got samples. I've got a video that we could send out, and it's like a 2-minute video, and it shows exactly what it is. Then we have samples that I can show, and it just we can put as little or as much information on there as the employer wants. And we do them. We have a lot of our groups. We do them annually for them, or if they're going to try to pull someone from another company, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, here's your total compensation. If you come to work for us, you're not only going to make $80,000 a year, but with all these added benefits, you know what I mean? You'll get access to this. We'll pay for that. It's just a powerful tool.
Beautiful stuff. Appreciate you sharing with us. So if you want to get in touch with Travis Robinson Maxwell Agency, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch with Travis. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.